Hey guys, how the hell are you? Today we're going to do a brand new unbiased gear review on this, the Reichardt Custom 8-string. But first, before we go into the demo song, let me remind you guys that we are currently streaming this live on twitch.tv/ArnoldPlaysGuitar. Please give me a follow on that site, give me a subscription if you so incline. We do like to broadcast every single day, various music production and video production, as well as just answering whatever general questions you guys have day in, day out, with hardly any days off in between. So if you have questions about how the process goes with creating these unbiased gear reviews or really anything else, there's your opportunity. Log in, give me a follow, give me a sub at twitch.tv/ArnoldPlaysGuitar and watch as we do this live. And now, back to your regularly scheduled demo song. So first, let's go over the specs of this guitar. So we have a flamed mahogany body with a set-in Claro Walnut neck, a Ziricote fingerboard with 24 stainless steel Jescar frets. We have Hipshot locking tuners, a Hipshot bridge, black hardware with this little gold switch here. We have a three-way toggle switch. We have a master volume and master tone. And this one comes with a pair of Seymour Duncan humbuckers. We have a Nazgul in the bridge and a Sentient in the neck. In addition, for extra beauty on this particular guitar, we have a Nitro Cellulose Gloss Lacquer. So those of you guys that tuned into my previous Reichardt video kind of know the backstory a little bit, but I'll give you a TLDR version right here. Followed Reichardt Guitars on Instagram and Facebook for a while, was perusing Reverb one day, saw that he lives in kind of the same vicinity as me, messaged him out of the blue, turns out he lives literally kitty corner around the neighborhood from me. So within walking distance, I went down there, I popped in, said hello, checked out the shop. He's got some awesome wood stores, a lot of woodworking pouring in there, the kind of tools and general setup that anyone who builds instruments for a living would salivate over. And yeah, it's just a really cool guy, a really cool setup he's got going on, and most importantly, for the sake of this video, really goddamn cool instruments. So I definitely have formulated my final thought on this thing already, but I'm going to kind of take it step by step for you guys to still sort of break it down so you guys can tell what is awesome about this instrument. So, first things first, this finish is exceptional. I am definitely a big fan of gloss finishes when they are done right, so that they don't have that sort of gym floor feel to them. And even though this is a nitro finish on here, it definitely is nice and buffed out, very smooth to the touch, very fast along the back of the neck. Definitely helps to make that purple quilted maple top pop at you a little bit. Very, very beautiful instrument to look at. The figuring on the flame body is also exceptional. And dig this. This is really the first time, I think, that I've played an instrument that has a walnut neck. And I gotta say, I like it. I like it a lot. There's some definite note clarity here. Not necessarily as dark as, say, a rosewood neck or anything like that, but it is definitely a nice, articulate instrument through and through. Just looks really pretty to look at as well. As far as the build quality is concerned, taking a look at the edges of the routs for the pickups, nice and crisp and clean. There's no burring whatsoever to be found. We have a very, very nice fretboard edge here. This fretboard edge, in comparison to the previous Reichardt instrument that we checked out, is a little bit more rolled off on the edge, which is something that I definitely appreciate far more. I also really like how crisp and clean the fret edges are. Nice and clipped down, filed down, and flush with the side of the neck. There's no fret sprout to speak of whatsoever. This is obviously an instrument where the quality control was definitely up to snuff, even right up to the nut that's on here, which is also very, very nice and flush with that fretboard edge. It's very, very awesome. One thing that's interesting about this particular instrument, Nathan himself said that he didn't really care for it so much, but I say nay, I actually like it a lot, is that definitely the edges of the fretboard are a little bit more flat compared to the other Reichardt instrument that we checked out, which what that means is that the C profile of the neck is going to basically come up to a point where it meets the edge of the fretboard there, and then all of a sudden it's going to turn at an angle and go straight up until you hit the top of the fretboard. He doesn't necessarily care for that all that much, but I've got to be honest with you, I actually really, really like the feel of that and how it feels under my hands when I'm playing. So it's something that a lot of you guys that have played like Strandberg instruments, for instance, will probably be familiar with. How, yeah, it's got that trapezoidal neck profile, but then once you get to the edge of the fretboard, there's kind of a little bit of an angle where all of a sudden the fretboard meets the neck. And it's something that those of us that have played Strandbergs enjoy. It's definitely something that you would also find a favor with regards to this instrument as well. I actually really, really like it. The gold switch is kind of a nice aesthetic touch that kind of offsets the rest of the hardware, which is black on this instrument. This instrument also has strap locks already installed, and the tuning stability is just absolutely fantastic. The playability is really just kind of effortless on here. Great access to the upper frets as well, so if you're looking for something to solo on and shred on, this is a great instrument for you as well. Normally, when it comes to 8-string instruments, I'm not necessarily a fan of straight scale 8 strings. I typically prefer a multi-scale. That said though, everything is just coming together so nicely on this. The playability is rather effortless. The ease of soloing is great. The speed of the neck is fantastic. So when you're doing those awesome, fast, extreme metal runs, you can definitely sort of dig in a little bit and, you know, just maneuver rather easily on here. You're not catching on anything because, like I said, it's a nice, finely buffed down gloss finish on the back of the neck. It's just a really exceptionally playable instrument, and I'm really, really enjoying it so much. with that, let's just go into the tone demo. So how does this thing sound? Really, really goddamn good. I definitely see a lot of mention in a lot of Facebook groups and other gear forums about how a lot of people just cannot jive with the Duncan Nazgul. And to a certain extent, I understand. It has a unique mid-range quality to it, but at the same time, goddamn, I love that mid-range quality. It has just the right amount of quack before it gets unbearable. And in my opinion, for like extreme metal shit, like especially like when you get to like extreme brutal 8-string death metal stuff, it just sounds so goddamn good. You know, it's got plenty of note definition, but it's punchy, and it has such an awesome character to like the palm mutes. Oh, so ridiculous. But have no fear, because not only is this instrument also absolutely kick-ass for the extreme 8-string stuff, it is also awesome if you just want that little bit of extra range, but you're playing mostly like 6-string sort of riffs. Just so much clarity, so much definition, so much punch and oomph on those palm mutes. It's awesome. Big rock chords. Everything just sounds so fucking rad on this bridge pickup. It's really, really, really found a nice home in this guitar. Perfect bridge pickup for this instrument. The neck pickup is also awesome too. It is a Seymour Duncan Sentient, which for those of you guys that remember, way back when the Nazgul came out, they released the Sentient on the same day, and it was meant to pair really, really nicely with the Nazgul, but also pair really nicely with the Pegasus as well. That also came out the same day. I like the Sentient. It's kind of a nice halfway point between something super modern and yet something that sounds super vintage, like an SH2 Jazz or an SH159. Just nice amount of balance, just cutting tone, great articulation. I've got nothing bad to say about the tone of this instrument. It's just so exceptionally perfect in every way. So overall, my final thought on this guitar, this thing is really, really awesome. I had mentioned it before that I don't necessarily care for straight scale 8 strings, but 27 inches, and it's a straight scale instrument, and everything is just coming together so nicely to make me just want to keep playing this. And that is the most important thing, regardless of whatever preconceived notions or sort of biases that I might have towards certain features and functions on a guitar are. This is one of those things where whatever I felt beforehand, the fact that this thing plays so goddamn good and sounds so goddamn good totally just lays all that to the side. Like, I'm definitely very much a fan of this instrument. 27-inch scale. It sounds great. It plays great. The string tension is great on this. Playing like big rock riffs, like some Black Sabbath stuff, even sounds really, really awesome when you're doing a bunch of like big rock 6-string riffs. But then when you get down to like the real low notes, doing the extreme 8-string stuff, doing the djenty stuff, that Nazgul really shines at that point too, and it just sounds so goddamn brutal. I mean, it's a work of art. It's definitely a beautiful instrument, a sexy instrument at that, but goddamn, like, even without it looking as awesome as it does, it plays and sounds so exceptional to the point where I can't put it down. I can't stop playing it. So it's going to be one of those things that when I bring this thing back to Nathan, it's going to be bittersweet for me. Yes, I got a chance to play it here, but goddamn, this thing especially has just really, really solidified the belief that I think Nathan is an exceptional luthier. He really knows his stuff. He's been doing this for years, and it shows in how absolutely killer of an instrument this is. I would definitely say, you know, look him up on Reverb. I will post a link to his Reverb Guitars shop in the description below so you guys can check them out. But definitely consider him the next time that you're looking for a kick-ass custom shop shred and gent stick like this. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking out this awesome instrument. Remember to leave a comment in the comment section below, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and remember that there is lots more metal guitar oriented content to come. Finally, remember to please take what you do seriously. Do not take yourself too seriously.